This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the morning of Monday, July 20th, 2026. I'm Alex Brown. Indiana Office of Energy Development Executive Director John Ford says the state's newly launched Indiana Advanced Nuclear Ready Communities program is the result of numerous communities wanting to be the first in Indiana to support nuclear energy projects. But he says the key will be those communities taking an active role.
I think a key factor is they have to self-identify, right? This isn't a top-down. They have to say, we're interested. We want to have community conversations.
The program is designed to help communities embrace nuclear power and ensure they have the workforce capacity and infrastructure for such projects to be successful. The home and office of Andy Card, CEO of Westfield-based development firm Card & Associates, were raided Thursday by federal law enforcement. According to a civil asset forfeiture complaint filed by the U.S. Attorney's Office, federal prosecutors allege Card engaged in a wire fraud scheme involving the development of the $38 million Mishawaka Fieldhouse and used proceeds from it to help purchase a home in Florida. On Saturday, Card said he was temporarily stepping back from the development division of his company while remaining CEO. Card has not been charged with a crime. An FBI representative would not confirm whether the searches were related to the fraud allegations. After just over 2 years of construction, Gary Chicago International Airport cut the ribbon Friday on the $12 million Wingtip Aviation Hangar. The 47,000 square foot facility will serve as the home of the Valparaiso-based company's consolidated operations at the airport and also expands the airport's ability to accommodate corporate and general aviation activity. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
West Central Indiana is essential to Indiana's future. Join IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the state of Indiana to explore regional growth Thursday, August 13th in Terre Haute for Innovate West Central Indiana, presented by CareSource, Indiana University, and Old National Bank. Featuring Governor Mike Braun and business and community leaders, join us at the Indiana State University Holman Center Thursday, August 13th in Terre Haute. RSVP now at ibj.com/innovate.
The Indiana Court of Appeals has affirmed a trial court's decision in favor of two insurance companies who denied a customer's claim for coverage after a fire destroyed a 250,000 square foot warehouse in Evansville.
The appeals court said the trial court was right when it found that the insurance companies were not required to demonstrate prejudice due to the owner's failure to comply with the protective safeguards endorsement in the insurance policy. On December 23, 2022, a maintenance contractor discovered that one of 20 risers in a sprinkler system inside the warehouse owned by Garvin Street Warehouse was frozen and broken. The contractor scheduled repairs for January 2, 2023. However, the warehouse caught fire on December 31st and was destroyed. The owners of the warehouse notified their insurance companies, including Bridgeway Insurance Company and Ascot Specialty Insurance Company, of the fire after the fact, but the insurers denied their claim, arguing Garvin failed to comply with the Protective Safeguards Endorsement, or PSE, portion of the commercial insurance policies. The PSE, in part, states that the insurance companies would not pay for loss or damages caused by a fire if the policyholder knew of any suspicion or impairment in any protective safeguard and failed to notify us of that fact. According to the policy, Garvin should have notified insurers about the issue with the sprinkler system within 48 hours of discovering it was broken. The Vanderburgh Superior Court denied Garvin's motion for partial summary judgment in August 2025, finding that the insurers were not required to show prejudice. Garvin's failure to notify insurers of the sprinkler system alone precluded coverage, according to court documents. The Indiana Court of Appeals upheld the trial court's ruling. Abriana Herron, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
The Cass County Redevelopment Commission has broken ground on what it calls a transformative infrastructure project at the Cass County Agribusiness Park. In conjunction with Logansport Utilities, the project is designed to provide reliable potable water service to the agribusiness park to both support existing businesses and prepare more than 2,000 acres for future development. Construction is expected to begin in the coming months and be complete in September 2027. Lucas Oil Stadium General Manager Eric Newberger is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now on the IBJ Media app or your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.